Hi everyone, today I want to show you how to crochet a corner to corner rectangle. I know lots of people know how to do the squares, but I personally prefer a rectangular blanket, so the rectangular corner to corner crochet is my favourite method of corner to corner crochet. There's nothing wrong with squares, but I just prefer a rectangle. So without further ado, let's get going. So for this video, I've already worked the increased part of my corner to corner blanket, and I am just going to show you how to decrease to make it into a rectangle as opposed to a square. If you don't know how to corner crochet already, then I do have a tutorial that shows you how to corner to corner. I'm going to pop the link up in the top of the video here, and I've also popped it in the description if you miss it when it pops up in the video. So I have increased and I've come all the way along here, and I want to start decreasing here. So I'm going to work one final corner to corner block, so chain 3, and I'm using American terms, so I am double crocheting. If you prefer to use UK terms, then that would be a treble crochet. So work 3 double crochets into that block, slip stitch to finish off, and then instead of going up to continue going wider, you flip your work as you would if you were making a square and slip stitch into those the previous 3 stitches that you've made, and then I pop a final slip stitch into the chain 3 gap to bring me back where I need to be to carry on my blocks. So then you'll chain 3 and work 3 double crochets into that block, essentially in the same way that you would if you were making a square corner to corner crochet blanket. Slip stitch in, and you can see already that your straight edge of your decrease is starting to form. I'm going to carry on working my corner to corner blocks up to here, and I'll meet you back here to show you how we carry on making a rectangle as opposed to a square. Right, so I've worked all the way back across, and I'm now back at the point. If I was making a square, I would obviously turn my work and slip stitch across, but we want to make a rectangle, so we want to keep making this end bigger. So instead of turning and slip stitching across, you carry on with your increases up this edge. So chain 3, pop 3 double crochet into the chain 3 space, and then chain 6 to increase a block. Then you're going to pop a double crochet into the 4th chain from your hook, just like you would if you're making a corner to corner square. And then you work 2 double crochets, 1 into each of the remaining 2 chain stitches, so that you end up with your chain 3 double crochet block that you normally would have. And then we flip up, slip stitch, and then we chain 3 and we carry on making our blocks all the way across, and I'll meet you back here. So as you can see, I've worked all the way back across, and I'm now back to that side that we decreased on the previous row. So again, I'm going to chain 3 and make my block of 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space from below. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 3 from the previous row again, but I'm not going to carry on making it wider because otherwise we'll have a random block stuck out. I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to pop those 3 slip stitches across the previous block, like we would do when we're normally decreasing. 1 final slip stitch into that chain 3 gap, and then I can carry on going up what's now quite an obvious rectangle. So again, your corner to corner blocks are just a chain 3 and 3 double crochets, join them to the block above on the diagonal with a slip stitch, and you would keep working these rows until your blanket is as tall as you want it to be. So you decided your width by working the first side and then starting to decrease once it got wide enough. Now you want to keep increasing on the one side to make it as tall as you want, while decreasing on the side that you were already happy with the width. So it's the same as working the square really, but you just start decreasing on one side before you start decreasing on the other, and that's what gives you your nice rectangular shape. So I'm going to work up here, working my chain 3s and 3 double crochets, and then show you once more how to do an increase. As I said earlier, I do have a more in-depth video on the corner to corner where I talk you through it just that little bit slower. But once you've mastered making a corner to corner square, a rectangle should be fairly straightforward to grasp the concept of. It's just remembering which side you started decreasing on. So 3 final double crochets, and a slip stitch to the top. And then, because this is the side that we are increasing on, I'm going to chain 3 and pop 3 double crochets into this block here. And then, because I want to go just a little bit taller, I'm going to chain 6 and I'm going to make another block by popping a double crochet into the 4th chain from my hook and a double crochet into each of the subsequent 2 chains. I'm going to join it with a slip stitch to the block above, and then you can see that I'm going to work my corner to corner stitches all the way down to here, and I will show you one more decrease when I get to here, and then we'll start decreasing at the other end as well, and you'll see how we get the rectangular shape. So I've reached that decrease side, I've worked all the way along, and now I'm going to work 3 double crochet into that last block, I'm going to slip stitch, turn my work, and then work back across using my slip stitches to get me back to where I can start working my corner to corner stitches again. And what I'm going to do this time when I get to here is I'm going to start my decrease. So again, chain 3 and 3 double crochets into the chain space below, not into the stitches, into the actual chain 3 that you've made previously when working your blocks. Slip stitch to the block above, chain 3 and 3 double crochets into that gap. Last 2 blocks now. Now this time, once I get here, and I finish my last 3 double crochets, instead of going up and increasing another block, I'm going to pop my slip stitch into the chain 3 gap, and I'm going to turn my work in the same way that I've been doing at the opposite side. I'm going to slip stitch across, 3 slip stitches, 1 in the top of each stitch, and 1 into that chain 3 gap to bring you back to where you need to be. And this bit is the easy bit because you just decrease on every end of each row. You don't have to worry about remembering which side you increase on. You just work all the way up here, slip stitch and slip stitch back across so that you're not increasing anymore at either end, and what you'll end up with is a really nice rectangular shape. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off using my decreasers, and I'll meet you back in the last stitch of the corner. So I've just finished off my last block, bar 1. I'm going to turn my work and work back across. And then work the last block like all of the other blocks, so chain 3 and 3 double crochet into this last block. Join with a slip stitch, and then if you want to make it extra secure before you cut your ends, you can flip your work and just work 3 slip stitches across. This is optional, you don't have to. You can sew in your ends just from that slip stitch that we placed, but if you want it just to give a little bit more security as you're working the edge, then you can pop a slip stitch in there, break your yarn, and pull your hook through, and there you have your corner to corner rectangle. So I hope that was helpful. I personally prefer a rectangular blanket, so I use this method a lot for my corner to corner blankets. I hope it was easy enough to follow. If you let me know what you think in the comments, that would be really helpful, and I hope to see you back again for another tutorial soon. Bye.